What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to another video for Code Vay. Now in today's video I'm going to be showing you my personal favorite build for using a bayonet to defeat the Frozen Empress. So I've seen in the comments so far some people are having issues beating the Frozen Empress in general, but more specifically beating her with a bayonet, just because it doesn't do as much damage as some of the other weapons depending on your build. So in today's video I'm going to show you guys my personal recommended build that's pretty easy. So on this build we're going to be focusing on mobility as well as stamina regeneration and obviously dodging. With that being said, the fight itself is going to be more of a hack and slash. We're going to be chipping away at her health, but we're going to be doing it consistently to where she doesn't do her special move where those beams comes out of those two crystals there in the background and just absolutely destroys us. Now for weapons, I'm going to be using the Burning Disaster with a transformational fortification and obviously upgraded as much as possible, so it's plus 10. So I chose the Burning Disaster just because it has fantastic stat scaling. As you can see here, dexterity A, B plus, B, and then willpower of E plus. So it focuses a lot on strength and dexterity, obviously making sure that our raw attack power is up there to a degree, as well as our dexterity, which allows for our mobility when we're attacking. Now for base attack, this is not the strongest weapon. You could use something like an Argent Wolf bayonet with a fortification. You can definitely tell that the base attack is higher, but the Burning Disaster also has a plus 50 for fire elemental damage as well, putting your damage at around 140. So with that being said, this is kind of my go-to gun for it. Not to mention, obviously, the Frozen Empress is weak to fire. Okay, for blood veils, I'm using the Clean Slayer Claw with a plus 10. Now you could transform this, do whatever you want as far as transformations go, but for this I don't have a transformation on it and it works perfectly. Now the reason that I chose this blood veil is because it scales well with dexterity, mind, and willpower. Even though, like I said earlier, we're focusing on strength and dexterity, I want to make sure that my mind and willpower is there because we're going to be doing some gift attacks fairly often, and I want to make sure that my damage, whether it's light or dark for my gift attacks, is up there and pretty decent. Now for blood code, I am doing Prometheus just because I'm trying to make this build a little bit more balanced, but also focusing more on dodging. Again, we're going to be having some stamina regeneration in here, so with a little bit of hack and slash, making it well balanced again with some of the gift attacks, we're going to want to make sure that we have Prometheus equipped for the blood code. Okay, so for passive gifts, I have increased gift speed, so this is going to make sure that our gift attacks are actually executed faster. There is one specific gift attack that we're going to be using quite often that does like 3 to 4 different shots, so I want to make sure that I get those off as fast as possible so that way the Frozen Empress doesn't hit me pretty hard. In addition to that, we're also using Tirelessness. Now this increases your stamina regeneration rate. This is going to be super important because not only are you going to rely on it to make sure that you have your stamina regenerating fast enough to where if you need to dodge and take an attack, you're not out of stamina. I've run into issues with other builds where I want to run in, she's vulnerable and take an attack, but I don't have any stamina, or she goes to hit me and I can't dodge because I don't have any stamina. So this is going to be super important for this build, especially because we're going to be dodging a lot and we're going to be hitting a lot as well. Now obviously I do have the Bayonet Mastery as well, just to increase the raw attack power when equipped with a bayonet. And then I also have Swift Destruction, which increases damage dealt in proportion to your mobility. Now what I have found is if you guys are having issues with Ichor regeneration when you're doing the hack and slash and maybe it's just not working out for you, you could replace Swift Destruction with something like Weapon Drain rating up. So this is going to increase your Ichor regained by like 1 or 2 whenever you go ahead and hit the Frozen Empress. So if you're having issues with that and you just don't feel like you have enough Ichor regenerating, you could go ahead and switch those out. But I will say with this build, you're going to be able to get anywhere from 4 to 5 different hits on her at a time if you dodge her first attack. So you're going to be able to regenerate Ichor pretty fast, but if you feel like you're not generating it fast enough, go ahead and swap Swift Destruction out for Weapon Drain rating up. Okay, on to the gift buffs and gift attacks. So what I am running is Adrenaline. Now I prefer Adrenaline over Overdrive just because Adrenaline lasts a little bit longer. So we're going to be using Adrenaline. This should stay up for most of the fight. If not, you can reapply it, but you're going to want to make sure that for most of the fight you have Adrenaline on. Now moving over to the Fusillade Rondo. The Fusillade Rondo is going to be one of the main attacks that we're going to be executing. So it fires a barrage of homing bullets, an offensive skill performed with a bayonet. This is going to be our main move. Like I said earlier, wanting to equip that passive gift to where when we execute our gift attacks, they're a lot faster than they would be, just because this again is, I think it's anywhere from 3 to 4 different shots and you're not going to be able to stop it. So you want to make sure that you get those off as fast as possible, and it should be doing anywhere from like 3,000 to 5,000 damage. Now I do have Flame Barrage equipped for two reasons. One being the Frozen Empress is weak to fire attacks, and then the second being that it doesn't take as much Ichor as the Fusillade Rondo. With that being said, if you find that you dodged an attack, you have an opportunity to get another attack in on there, and maybe you're a distance away or whatever it may be, and you want to use some of that Ichor but you don't have enough to use the Fusillade Rondo, or maybe you feel in your gut that you don't have enough time to execute that Fusillade Rondo, you can go ahead and hit her with a Flame Barrage. Now this is going to do anywhere from 1,000 to 2,000 damage. It's not going to be super big, but it is something that you can get in there, sneak in there if you have the opportunity and you can't execute that Fusillade Rondo. In addition to that, of course, we're going to be doing Flame Weapon, which adds more fire damage to your weapon, which already has 50 fire damage. And then lastly, I have Ice Armor. So Ice Armor temporarily creates a barrier around you and your partner that boosts ice resistance. So this is going to be super important as well. I am also stacking this with the Anti-Freeze Tonic, so that way when she does her ice attacks or you get hit by her ice attacks, it doesn't do nearly as much damage as it usually would. Now speaking of stacking, I also have Flame Cartridge on here as well. So considering that our weapon has a 50 fire damage already without any buffs, we're going to be adding Flame Cartridge, and then we're going to be adding Flame Weapon on top of that. So it's going to give a pretty decent fire elemental damage boost to our weapon, which is why I chose the Burning Disaster itself. Now for these other ones, I don't really use these as often. I do have Blood Sacrifice on here just in case, but I find that you don't really need to use this that often, because like I said, you're going to be getting in 4 to 5 different hits on the Frozen Empress, and with doing that, you're going to regenerate enough Ichor to be able to get some of your special attacks off. So I only use this kind of as a last go-to thing. It's not really necessary, neither are these two as well. So again, that is the Adrenaline, Fusillade Rondo, Flame Barrage, Flame Weapon, Ice Armor, and then of course we have Flame Cartridge and Anti-Freeze Tonic. Now if you don't know where to get these, you can buy these from Coco at base, and they're pretty cheap, so you shouldn't have an issue getting those. Okay, so with that being said, the main focus of this fight is going to be applying our buffs as we can before the fight even starts, and then running in and getting in as much damage as possible. Throughout the fight, you're going to want to be doing hacking and slashing as much as you can. Don't worry about trying to take shots on her. Don't worry about doing the Burning Disaster special move. Just try to get anywhere from 3 to 5 hits on her, and then you also have the ability and the mobility stats to go ahead and dodge as much as often. If you are having issues with the mechanics themselves, I'm going to be doing a video on that, but for the most part, I believe her attacks are pretty straightforward. Just keep hitting her, keep trying to stagger her. With this build, you're going to be hitting her so much that you're going to stagger her quite a few times. Again, just go ahead and keep hacking and slashing and chipping away at that health bar, and then getting in your Fusillade Rondo whenever you dodge one of the body slams or one of the big jump moves that she does. Now lastly, what I recommend, as you can see here, is I have EO equipped. Now EO has pretty good mobility, she has pretty good survivability, and that's what makes her important. Not to mention that she will revive you more often than some of the other players, and in addition to that, when she revives you, she gives you a lot more health than the other players or the other partners would. Anywhere from, like, for me personally, I think it's like 2,500 health, which absolutely helps because I don't have to worry about getting up, trying to run away or dodge, and then trying to heal up, and then I might die again, and then she's not able to heal me. So I definitely recommend having EO here just for that survivability aspect as a partner. You could have whoever you want, doesn't matter to me. That's just my recommendation. I will be putting another video out on that shortly or later sometime this week, so just be on the lookout for that. Now, if you guys found this video helpful, if you guys enjoy these helpful how-tos, tips and tricks, these builds, if you guys want to see more daily videos, or you want to see me playing some upcoming games like Nioh 2 or Doom Eternal, go ahead and hit that subscribe button because we're going to be posting a lot of videos on that. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so that way you get those notifications for daily videos. Now, in addition to that, if you found this helpful, go ahead and smash that like button. If you guys have any comments or suggestions, go ahead and throw them below. I'll definitely go ahead and respond to most of them if I can. And then with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.